Alright, hello everybody, welcome to episode 8. We're gonna start getting into the fun stuff. Really what I like about Fortnite is box fighting. That's my favorite shit. I love everything regarding box fighting. I used to play on like super high ping, like I'd get 60 to 70 in game, but now I get around 20 to 30, which is a blessing. But if you're on higher ping, it does force you to play less mechanical and more like decision making and like more with your brain than your skill. Not saying mechanical players don't use their brain. I'm just saying you just need to outsmart your opponent more than like outskill them. So this whole episode is going to be about defensive box fighting. So it's just going to be about playing from inside the box when someone's keying you. W keying, and if you don't know what W keying means, it just means when a player is playing super aggressive and attacking your box. So the first thing we're talking about is just boxing up in general. So the normal box up would just be you literally just box up and make sure you place the back wall here. But there's plenty of like variations. Everyone kind of has their own way they box up. So some people start here, walls up and around, but you want to make sure you get this back wall sooner rather than later. So I like to start at the back wall, loop around, curl up. So I'm doing one motion here. I'm turbo building walls. Then when I get to the top corner, I place the floor and the roof on top. But I guess the most optimal way to box up would be something like this, where you start at the back wall, you go up, to get this and then loop around. Because most times the places that where like your opponent is going to look to piece control you is either the back wall. So if you do this back wall last and he's over here, even if you have a stair here, he might grab the back wall, go up, and then steal top and go down. So most times they do that, especially when you're running away from somebody. So if I'm running from somebody because I just got lasered, then and if I don't take like if I don't have this wall here, then they're probably going to yoink this wall right away and probably yoink the roof at the same time. So I guess the most optimal would be back, up, and then finish. So kind of like, again, it doesn't really matter, but you want to make sure that whatever you do it quickly. Just so, because you're going to have someone like on your ass right behind you and you have no room for mistakes really when it comes to boxing up. So that's just, boxing up in a single motion. Obviously, you're going to probably want to do this in hard mats. My method or my theory is that if you're getting pushed by somebody, there's no point dying with 0 wood and 5-5 in hard mats. You're just going to refresh them. So you might as well just build in hard mats because, it does take longer to build. But in some edits, like it's all going to be one shot. But as you can see, it like goes by a lot, builds a lot better. And it's a lot more scary to beat someone keying if you're keying a fully built metal box, because then you have all the time in the world inside the box to decide, how you want to peek them. So let's say I'm going to metal, someone's pushing me, he lasers me right here, and I'm like, fuck, I gotta run. There's plenty of things you can do. The first one that a lot of pros do is that they place the stair behind them, go up, and then do a little 2x1 like this. You could even place a wall there if you wanted to. And what this does, let's say that this wall isn't there and you're healing right here. If your opponent, you can kind of see your opponent through the walls. That's important. You have to make sure you track them while your wall is building, or even just by sound. If you see your opponent is just, pickaxing through this stair, or he's like about to enter through here, you could even just go stop your healing and just shoot and then reset everything. And that goes along with chipping, which is, I don't know if people have other words for it, but when you're getting pushed, it's always good to try to deter the W keyer by just hitting them with chip shots and running. So you're basically running away and shooting occasionally while running out or doing whatever. So to do that quickly, let's say I just got beamed and I'm like, well, fuck, I need to run. And there I am running. I want to make sure you place the cone on top like that too. Then let's say your opponent is you're literally one shot and you can't risk, going for a chip or something. The best thing to do is to be switching layers constantly. What that means is, this is one layer. If I hop up here, I'm in a different layer. If I hop up one more, I'm on a different layer. Or if I go down, if I go all the way down, I'm on a different layer. So that means, you box up, maybe you bait this, you go up, go to the side, just so your opponent gets lost, and then maybe you come back down to your initial box while he's up there or doing whatever. You just want to lose yourself in the builds, in the music. But you want to make sure, like, whatever you're boxing up, you know, I box up here, I'm going to go over here, I'm going to go back, maybe I'll go up one. Whatever pops in your mind, just so you lose your opponent. Even if, like, obviously this costs, like, a shit ton of mats to build. But if you're literally one shot and you're going to die if this guy gets in your box, then you're going to want to burn all the mats so you don't die. How to do the stair thing, it's pretty simple. You literally just look down once you're more than halfway past, because if you do it when you're like right here, you'll either go on the opposite side of it, or you'll phase through it like this, and they can still shoot you when you're phased. So you want to place this. You can either not place this wall, just place the side walls and then go out and then place the wall, or just, you know, oh, see, I'm still kind of like learning how to do it, but this is. So how to practice it, you just look forward, there I am in the yellow. It's a difficult thing to do, but you just need to place the stair when you're down past a certain spot, and then you're good to go. So next we'll be talking about steal the clip. Also, just a clarification, I didn't make any of these up. These are just what I've learned through different YouTube videos and Reddit posts or whatever. I honestly don't know who the original creators of all these are, but, you know, it's not me. I just have different names for shit because it feels like they didn't have a name. So I call this one Steal the Clip. From our first episode about ramp rushing, let's say I have an opponent ramp rushing me, I get over like this, and he cones me. Very first thing you should do when you cone is to place the sidewall here. This way you can edit out and cone jump, or side jump, whatever you want to call it, or even just edit out and run, you know, like this. Whatever you want to do. And the reason why I call this stealing the clip is because in most cases they want to, you know, fully box you, break the stair, and then, you know, you're pretty much fucked, because unless you hit a 200 or, you know, a heavy charge to switch this up, you're pretty much screwed. But let's say, so stealing the clip, you literally are coned. First thing you should do is place the sidewall. Good way to practice this is that cone yourself, and then immediately go for the sidewall, and then edit through. So it's just like this. Cone, place the wall, edit up, jump out. You can land the cone jump, you don't have to. And that just steals the clip. Hence the name. Next, we're going to go talk about the psycho rush, or being unexpected in the box. So let's say I'm in a box like this. Actually, let's do that one after we do the edit peaks. So first off, you're in a box. Let's go away from that timer. Again, build your box in hard mats unless you have to build in wood. So you're in a box like this. Your opponent is right here on either a stair or a cone. You know, that whatever your opponent wants to do. Most cases, they place a stair from above when they drop down. There's a few things you can do. First, you have to figure out what you're more comfortable with in the box. Do you like having a cone in the box? Or do you like having a stair? Like this, or however you want to hold your stair. It's completely your personal preference. A lot of people play with the stair in the box because the edits you do with the stair are a little bit more easier than the cone. The edits you do with the cone is a little bit more easier than the ones if you were trying to do it with a stair or whatnot. But once you get fast enough with them all, personally, I think you have more outplay potential with the stair in the box, and it's more uncommon. Because if you think about it, if you're W-keying somebody and you're used to playing defensively with a cone in your box, then you almost, like, if you have no idea how to play with a stair in your box, then you kind of have no idea what angles this guy can do, what he can do with a stair, because you're used to a cone. I like a stair because it gives you more option, more ways to outplay, all that fun stuff. But for this sake, let's just do a cone, or I'll show them both. So first, let's say your opponent is on the other side of this wall. You own all this, by the way. He is pickaxing your wall. He just dropped down, and the safest way to place a piece controlled in is to go to the far left and then place a cone like this. He can't even fucking see you. You're literally right here. You're gone. Place the stair, and then you can either jump up and fully box him, or edit. Personally, I like edit the far right one, and then you can piece control all the walls. But going for the the full box like this is risky because, you know, depending on how slow or fast you do it, he's gonna be right here. He can just shoot you or whatnot. But let's say, let me break all this. That's like the most common way to piece control, is you place the cone up top, do the wall, whatever. Either the stair first. So if he's stacking you on flat, and you can notice that he's like back in the box like this, then you can place the stair and fully box him. But in most cases they land on the stair, so they're like up here, and then you stair or cone and then do the side walls. Now let's say that, you know, a good player will play far back on here, because if you cone them, it's just gonna bunch them up. So they'll play all the way back here, or they'll even try to fake you out by, you know, placing a cone over here, pickaxe and jumping up, pickaxe and jumping up, going at your roof. You know, that's a good way to attack walls, to do stuff like that. So let's say they're attacking this, and they already own this, and they've done like an edit like maybe like this. So they are like right here attacking or whatnot, and you can't cone them. You can wall them off, but they're just going to go up. What I like to do, this is kind of like a risky little edit peek shot thing. So it's important that when you're playing from inside the box, you can give yourself the right hand peek with whatever, you know, peek you want to do. You can give yourself the right hand peek because, you know, you're inside the box and you're dictating how you want to edit and shoot. My favorite edit, or one of my favorite edits, is the peanut butter peek. This one's common. You know, I'm just gonna break this right now, just for the sake. I think I covered it a bit in editing, but it's just you sit here and you jump up and shoot. That's it. Obviously, there are counters to this, which we'll talk about in aggressive peeking or whatnot, or aggressive box fighting in the next episode. I also like the window edit, where you edit the window down here. If you're close to it, you just walk to the left a bit, edit it, and then if your opponent's right here, you just go reset. I like this one too, but it's harder to do when you have a cone. But you can do it with a cone. You just have to be right next to it. You just shoot and reset. You can do this one where you're literally here and your opponent. If your opponent's anywhere like past this line, he can still shoot you. But if he's on the far left, then you can shoot and reset. You know, there's plenty of stuff to do. You can also just say fuck it and just play the unexpected part. You know, like if your opponent knows you're a good player, they're not going to expect you to just edit like this and shoot, because that's like a newbie thing to do. But the thing is that you can catch them off guard because they're expecting, you know, one of these or something like that. So you can literally just go like this and shoot. But you have to be able to read your opponent, and you know, it's a gamble, because if your opponent's expecting that, or if they're baiting you to shoot and edit, which is, you know, aggressive box fighting, which we'll talk about later, then, you know, you're gonna get chunked hard. So it's really a gamble. I'm trying to think of other peaks you can do. You can do this one. This is a little bit more safe, but you know, most people don't do this when they're box fighting. It's more like you're spraying people end game. Yeah, let's talk about the psycho. Oh wait, no, let's do the edit, reset, shoot. This one's kind of older. You know, it was around a while ago. The whole point of this is to do the edit like this, reset it when they shoot. So if you edit it and then you reset it, when they shoot, you take the wall back. And what that does basically is when they shoot, they break the wall. So they break the wall, and then you shoot in between and then take the wall back, because they still have to go through the animation of finishing the shot before they can shoot another one. This one's pretty old. I mean, other than is just you reset, they shoot it, you place the wall, you shoot. It's a pretty old one. Still works though. You know, you still catch some people off guard. Another, if you want to get crazy with it, here's another plus with having a cone in the box. You can almost kind of hide behind the cone like this, if you hit in the far back, and then pop up and shoot like that. Crouch peeking, go from the right. Ideally, you know, you can go from all the way over here, crouch shoot like that, whatnot. I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, the edit peek shoot then. But it's old, you know, they shoot this, then you shoot them. Onto that, this is kind of like not like a newly concept, but it's definitely a needed concept. So when somebody's turbo building a wall, or anybody's even taking a wall, there's a 0.15 millisecond. I think it's 1.5, maybe it's 1.015. Anyway, there's this delay that every player, no matter if you have 0 ping or 6,000 ping, or you're literally plugged into the server, it doesn't matter at all. Every player has this, and what you can do is in that millisecond you can time your shot. It's hard to do because I'm alone, but you can time your shot to where as soon as the wall breaks, you shoot. So you can shoot through the wall even though someone's turbo building it. It's really hard to show, but it'd be like when the wall breaks. Maybe I'll pause the video and then come back when I'm on a different map so I can show you guys it. Yeah, so I guess I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. This is on Raider's Piece Control edit map. I'm just going to show you a good way to practice this. So let's say here's my opponent, this robot in here shooting at me. So I messed up there. Let's wait again. We're going to wait till the wall's literally one bullet, and then you shoot through. Line it up. You can hold it. Wait. It's a little difficult to do. It's all about timing. So let's get him to see me through the wall. Come on. So you wait for him right when he shoots the wall, and then you build the next wall afterwards. It's a little hard to see because this map bounces at you right away, but you would look down or look where you are and place the wall. Alright, come on, dude, you got this. Anyway, you guys get the idea. It's just timing your shot from when they break the wall. So you break it, and then you shoot, and then place the wall again right afterwards. So let me end this and then go back to the talking about. I think next up we're talking about piece control, which is probably going to be a different video entirely of itself. But we'll just talk about it a bit from a defensive point of view. Alrighty, we are back again. We're going to be talking about piece control. So obviously we learned the defensive piece control, which is placing the cone first, then the stair, or vice versa, and then doing the walls afterwards. Edit in if they're underneath. If they're above the cone like this, jumping up, going for a shot like that. There are other versions of piece control. You can, if you notice that this is building still, like all these are building, and you see your opponent on top, you could edit out, place the wall, either cone the wall like this, and then take the side walls and the floor underneath, and then he's in this box, or break this. Or you do the stair first, and then get it, and then hop in, and then now he's in a fully box out of, ooh, voice crack, wow, 21, and that happened. And then you can have a shot here. But this is like a wow, what is going on? This is like a top up piece control. Is you have to take the wall first, and then you can decide what you want to do next. Most common is just be something like this, and then shoot in. Let me recreate another box over here. So really, I'm trying to think of like other piece control things you can do. Most cases they're going to be on attacking from one of these sides. A lot of people like to attack diagonally, so they like to sit here and attack. So usually what they would do is that they will attack this wall here, with this one edited, and then if you go for a peek, they'll reset it. I do this a lot, so they peek like this, then you reset it. Or you hug the corner, jump up, like this is, but this is more like aggressive box fight, and I don't want to talk about that yet. So let's say your opponent is attacking your wall here. Let's say your wall has like 3 to 4 pickaxes before. You might want to edit this and then start attacking his wall here. Because if you get this wall, then you can box him and shoot, or you can just force him into an uncomfortable situation. Like if he's fully committed on this box, you take this one, you can do an edit like this, and then shoot him, and he might be even trying to reset this or place a wall, but he can't. And this would just dilute the attention off of this guy attacking this wall over here and having a right angle on you to you taking this wall and then owning it here, and then having the option of doing a right angle peek however you want to. But piece controlling from within the box is, very limited because there's only like so much you can do. If you pay attention, you might be able to go for like a crazy box where you come out, box, and then fully box your dude like this. So that's more to catch them completely off guard. Because if you remember, you know, if your opponent's coming and he's literally not even at your box yet, and you can see him ramping up, let's say he's ramping up right here through the brick, and he's getting to right here coming up on your box, you could do something quick enough where you go like this, and this is literally an edit, like a practice you can edit in the Raiders edit map that I was just in. And now you're in his box, and you can do, you know, whatever angle you want to do. Piece control is mainly an attacking thing people do, but you can use it defensively as well. So now we're going to talk about heal baiting. I don't have any heals to show you, unfortunately, so I'll just use my submachine gun and pretend it's heals. So let's say your opponent cracks you below, you know, 50 or below 100, and you have an option to take some type of heal. You start the animation for it, and then, you know, let's say this is in wood, or something you can see through, or build in metal, or anything like that, but let's just use wood right now. You start the animation, and then as soon as your opponent is about, like, has his pickaxe out, or he's started the swing, and you can hear the sound of it swinging, or even the motion of the swing, then you want to cancel it, reload, shoot. So it's like that. You want to get the edit, obviously, and then shoot. So you cancel the animation, and then you shoot them. Because they're thinking, alright, you know, he wants to finish this mini. You know, he's in there healing up. I'm going to just, you know, start hammering this wall down. And then right when you're at, like, halfway through, so when the pickaxe is just coming down, you edit, and then they have to either quick enough finish the animation and then pull out their shotgun, or if they're fast, then they might pull it out right away. But then you have to watch out for, you know, a good player might hop down on this ramp, and when you're healing and you go for this edit, he might pickaxe bait you. So this is, you know, we're kind of dipping into the offensive box fighting. So he might do something where he just takes out his pickaxe and just goes like that. It makes the sound like he's hitting it, but he's just taking out his shotgun right away. Because in most cases, you know, we're kind of getting off track here, but whatever. Most cases, people inside the box want to edit first. So if you hop down, they're going to go for an edit right away and reset. Just because they're trying to, you know, get you off guard, and that's a great thing to do. Because if this guy's keying you and you hit him for a 150, now you're in a huge advantage. Now he's going to run. Let's say he runs away like this. He's running over here. Remember we learned early on, we can yoink this wall, get the roof. Yeah, obviously we wouldn't own this, but we could break this and then shoot him. So getting like the little chip damage can either alleviate pressure so you can heal, or help you be able to push them. So this would be, you know, a chip damage way. Now let's talk about wall fakes. This one's done a lot by FaZe Martos. Highly recommend watching that dude on YouTube. And what he does is, if he's just in the wall, in the box like this, and either someone is underneath his stair like this, or, you know, somebody, or yeah, probably, or he's like this and he's above it. What you do is you just edit it like this. Your opponent immediately thinks, alright, well this guy's 100% running away, because why else would he edit this? And you simply just edit this and shoot him. But you have to make it believable. So you have to go like this and run out and then cancel back and shoot. Or, you know, you could even commit to it and then reset and go for something like this. That's the wall fake. You basically fake yourself leaving, and you come back and shoot. You can fake plenty of things. You can actually, you know, fully leave and then loop back around and go for a box. You know, not a door though. So you might box up like this, 2 out. You might be like, all right, I'm gonna box up again. And you go psych, and come back here and get the box. Or you might immediately, like, imagine, you know, you're chasing somebody and he goes like this to run, and then he immediately turns. This is like a catching them off, because you're flipping around as soon as possible, and they're going to be running this way trying to, you know, piece control you, or if they're on top of you, maybe you go like this, you know, and box them off. But really, defensive box fighting is either about doing chip damage enough where you can just, you know, phase into someone's box and just key them, or it's about outplaying them and finding a way to catch them off guard where you can, you know, finish the kill off or whatever. That's the wall fake. Now we're going to talk about phasing. This one is my favorite. Cobethius, who you might know from me. He's my trio partner, duo partner, and featured in a lot of the box fight clips. Hates this one. But basically, what phase-in is that you have a stair flip this way or any way. It doesn't have to be like that. It can be like this, and you can phase in between it. Most common one is you're holding the wall like this. You see your opponent either on the outside or he's inside the box. You phase through, you edit, you shoot. The hardest part is keeping track of him through the yellow builds. It's easier on performance mode because, you know, at the beginning you can almost see right through it, but once it's fully built, it's more difficult than if you weren't on performance mode. It might be like, okay, my opponent was here, shoot over there, reset, whatever. You can even just reset literally inside like this. But that's the most common phase trick. Another one that I really like to do is, let's say my opponent owns this and he's on the other side of it, and I see him, I can like see through it, or just, you know, it's just built, and I can tell that this guy is holding the edit on the other side. You pickaxe this, and then when you take the stair back, you phase yourself right away. So you want to be, you know, hugging the back wall over here, and when you take the stair, you just simply, you're already phasing, so you just go like this and shoot, because they're expecting you to land on top of it and then go for an edit shot. Other phasing you can do is, you know, obviously if you're like this and your opponent's over here, phase, flipped around, you know, they're flipped around, they're expecting you're holding this, they're probably expecting you just to reset it. You reset in the edit and then go for the phase. You can phase with cones too. So, you know, if your opponent places the cone in the box, this is their cone, you can still phase through it, but if you jump out, then they'll own the cone in the box. This is a good tactic if you hug any of the side parts in here, if you don't like playing with something in your box, just because, you know, they can't place anything, but it is bad because if, like, let's say they take this, you can't really jump up or move around too often or move inwards. Can you move inwards? No, you can't move inwards, because then you'll cancel the phase-in. But if they take this wall, then your only move is to run out a certain way. And if you edit out this way, you know, it's pretty, like, okay, he's editing here, he's either going to go for a fake and come back, or he's going to try to run away, where I can then piece control him and go for a shot as an aggressive. Another fun little phasing trick I like to do is the Mongraal Classic. So if you don't know the Mongraal Classic, that's simply when someone breaks the wall, they edit it, place the stair, or edit the stair, and then shoot like that. That's the Mongraal Classic. So counter to that is, if you don't have anything in your box, and let's say your opponent is attacking this wall right here, they get the wall, and they place a stair. You phase through the stair, so when they edit it, you just shoot them, and then run. And hopefully the shot, you land it, and it catches them off guard. Which, you know, if someone's caught off guard, it's going to scare them, and then they're going to mess up what they're doing. So many people have this memory, like muscle memory down, where they, like that, that's like a muscle memory. You can even see pros do it. That when they go to get the wall, they're already doing the motion to edit, even if they don't have the wall. So they're going to be like, even if they don't have the wall, they'll just try to edit, and they'll still do this motion with their gun. And try to do the stair edit. So if that happens, obviously you're going to have to hope that this guy is going to place a stair, because if he places a cone, then you're fucked. But if, you know, you try to gamble that he is going to place the stair in there. It was more common when cone in the boxes, or more better when cone in the box was not as popular, because then you could just literally phase, shoot. And you could even have ran through it if you wanted to, so you could run through while he edits out and fucking psycho him, which is our next tip, which is the psycho. I call this one the psycho because most people, when they think of defensive box fighting, it's literally you're inside the box and you're doing edits and shooting and stuff like that in order to catch your opponent off guard, you know, chip damage, whatever. But a thing you can do is, if your opponent's just pickaxing your wall, just fucking psycho him, edit it, fucking shoot him, and just run down and fuck him up. You know, there's tons of variations you can do. My favorite one, which I get called a controller player a lot. Let me break this a bit. Alright, stop healing. Alright, whatever. Is, you know, if this wall is on one shot and I can tell one more pickaxe wind's going to break it, instead of like waiting for this guy to break the wall and see if I win the turbo build off. I'm just going to fucking spray through the box myself. Even though it is my wall, I could edit it, but I don't want to. I want to spray through it and then spray down my guy like that. That is a psycho move, and they never expect it, ever. Because, I mean, in what mind, like, whose right mind would spray through their own wall, that's one shot, just to spray you down? I mean, it's crazy, and it catches people off right away. You could even, you know, spray through and get the cone off and continue to spray. That way they can't go up, box them, or whatever. But this is just the psycho 50-50. You need to win this fight soon. Right now, you know, somebody's coming. You don't have a lot of health. Whatever the case is. Obviously, some other examples of this is simply just, you know, they're fighting for the wall, and when they break this one, you just fucking run out and shoot them. You just say, fuck it, fuck defending the box, I'm gonna defend, you know, out here and surprise them. Better when pumps existed, because then, you know, you have a chance to go for like a one pump or whatever. But that's called psychoing, and that ties into being unexpected. You know, that's the important thing. You know, we talked about earlier how sometimes the most newbiest of edits like this, when you're completely open, can work against good players if they know you're a good player, because they won't expect it. It's like a psycho. It's a weird thing to do. You know, it's like, no way a good player is going to do an edit that leaves them wide open like this. They're going to go for something like that instead, or, you know, a safe edit like this. And this is just something of being unexpected. But then the issue is if the person, you know, is expecting it, you're fucked. So that's, you know, high risk, high reward, basically. So we talked about dekeying and chipping almost throughout this entire episode, and that's just when you're running away or whatever you're doing. Maybe you go for a shot like this, and then you box off, go for another shot. You know, you decide, I'm going to go up a layer. You see your opponent's running, you go for a shot. Maybe go for a box. So you're just trying to do anywhere from 20 to 50. This is, in my opinion, chip damage. 20 to 50 damage, where it's just chipping away at their shield. Enough where either you're an advantage or you're confident enough where you can psycho out and shoot them. Confident enough that you can go for a play and win the trade, or even go for a play and survive the peak or whatnot. Obviously, a big chip would be, and this would sway the entire thing of the fight, is if, let's say, your opponent's pressuring your wall, and you shoot in between the walls like earlier, and you hit them for a 150. Okay, their immediate reaction, unless they're trying to be unexpected and psycho you, is to run. So then you can just see, okay, if they go up, I cone them. If it looks like they're going out, I take this wall. Even if they own this, then you can take through it, and then edit through, and either take all the walls, or if they just own this one, just edit through and jump and kill them. So that really turns the tide of the fight. That's what you're trying to do, is turn the tides of the fight or get them low enough to where you can 50-50 them. And it's not even really a 50-50. So we're going to talk about the switcheroo. This is a great counter to the common phase trick, which I'll just show it in this episode, I guess. So the most common phase trick is you get the wall low before coming here. So just have wood here. Whether that's, you know, you're running from over here, shoot at the wall a bit. You can either place this one, place this there, and then you jump and phase in. You know, you can do a stair after and shoot, do this one, jump and shoot, or you can just simply jump in and place this cone there and then shoot. But this is the most common phase trick, and it's pretty easy. You can pretty much see when they're going to do it. If someone's placing a stair like this and they're underneath it, good chances they're going to be trying to jump into your box. No point to keep holding the wall, because if you just hold the wall, then they're just going to be right here and kill you. If you have a cone in the box, they're still going to jump in and kill you. So either one, you can wait for them to jump through. If you see him pickaxing the wall right here, good chances when he jumps, he's going to be taking out his shotgun in the air, and his head's going to be right about here. So you can go for that shot and hopefully win it enough where you can turn to yourself and kill him, or you can run. So you can say, fuck that shit, I'm out. But even then, this guy's still going to be coming, like, he's still going to be hauling ass. He's going to be coming, like, right for you. So that's why it might be better to do, you know, the stair out, go for a few going up, just to, you know, run from him so you can heal. Or, this is my favorite, I call it the switcheroo. There's probably another name for it. But let's say your opponent is trying to pickaxe in, and you hug here, and as soon as he breaks the wall, you just run forward and place the wall behind him. And now he's in a box that you fully own. You own all of this, so you can go for one of this, you can go over here, you can do the peanut butter peek. You can even do something like this to block the shot from your opponent and then reset it, kill him, or whatever you want to do because you own literally everything in there. So I'll do it a little bit slower this time, or simple. If your opponent is trying to phase in, the wall's one shot, you walk up to it like this, and you just switch places and then place the wall as soon as he's passed. You can even do something like this where while he's in the air, like let's say he breaks it, you go, he breaks it, you shoot him, and then you place the wall underneath. So you do a chip damage while he's in the air, and then you finish it off with whatever. Now this would be a psycho thing to do. In this case is, he owns this ramp and he's inside your box. Let's say your wall's one shot, you jump in even though you own this. And this is more of a 50-50 if he's like one shot, but it would be like an unexpected thing to do. I can already tell this video is going to be long as shit. So next is hiding in your cone. This one is done a lot by Mr. Savage. A lot of people do it end game, but the thing is you can also do it in box fights, which is, important. You want to make sure you do it. First one you can do the Dorito cone, not have a floor here, and you just hide in here. You have to make sure you do it in brick or metal so you can't be really seen once it's fully built. You hide in here. The only issue with that is that if an opponent takes your wall, they know exactly where you are, because why else would you be doing a Dorito edit like this? The best one is when you have a cone inside. You go like this, you jump up, you hold it like here. So let's say your opponent is right here, pickaxe in this wall here. And you're hiding in this cone. You could go for the double edit, box him. You wouldn't own those stairs, so you could shoot him. Or you could, if he owns this for whatever reason, you could take a piece on the side, come down. He owns this, he's right here. Box him, shoot him. There's plenty of things you can do when you're inside the cone. Let's say you don't decide to come out and instead he breaks through and you have a cone in there. He might think you're in the cone below. He might think you're in the cone down there instead of the one up here. So if he's breaking that one, you can hop down and go for a shot while you're falling or whatnot. But that's just, a thing you can do in the moment, or if you're trying to keep track of, where your opponent is. So you're like, where the fuck is this guy at right now? And you're like, oh, okay, he's 3 heights up. I can heal a bit or do whatever, and then I can, start cranking up there and going for a piece controller or whatever. This is a different one. This is when you're attacking from the bottom and your opponent's up top. So we already talked about the piece control where you place that, you block them off or whatever you do. But let's talk about just shooting back at them when they're up there. So the first one you can do is it's basic. You just double edit and shoot, or you already have one edited and you wait for them to be mid pickaxe, jump, shoot, whatever you want to do. Reset afterwards. I like doing this one a lot. I learned it a century ago. I think Billy Bicep taught me this one. And let's say they're right here. You can first off crouch, jump, shoot. You want to make yourself have a right angle, so you want to flip it around the other way. Hello? Thank you. So crouch, shoot like this. Don't hit your stair like I just did. And peek like this. Or you can start here, and this is like the peanut butter peek. Jump up and shoot right between this little crack here. This is just a good way to attack the person up here, but sometimes he might place a wall there. Or if you take the wall, you can even go for an edit like this and then go, or even place the cone if you find the angle, and then go for a full box or whatever. But that's inside the box. Block shots and timing are the last thing we have to talk about. So blocking shots is, let's say your opponent phases into your box and you have a stair here. What you can do is edit this like this, because usually they want to shoot when they're mid-air. They want to take out their shotgun and then shoot. So this would block their shot because they're phasing in, and they would just shoot this. Another good one to do is that if you notice that he takes this wall, he's not phasing in, he just yoinks the wall, and you're on this side of the box. What you can do is, instead of doing an edit like this or like this, you can just edit the bottom one here. This will block the shot, and then you can decide to run off and do whatever. Come back, maybe go for a shot because he's keying you. That's just, you want to try to block shots as much as possible. Another good thing you can do is having this stair like this, and if this guy owns this wall and takes this wall, you can pressure this wall from this corner back here and see if you can take it back from him and then go for something. Or if you're right here and he edits this, you can just reset and then go into a phase if you wanted to and go for a shot. So basically all these tips should be used almost in the same time. Like one tip might go on to the other, and so forth. And you just want to be able to be constantly thinking of, okay, he's in this situation, so this tactic is the best thing to use and whatnot. But box fighting is a chess game. It's all about, if you're up against a good player who thinks and is like mechanically good, then you need to really be thinking ahead of them. And then, they may be trying to think ahead of you. And then if you die in a box fight and you guys are both two good players, either he just outsmarted you or you just made a mistake, and that's really it. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. This is a long one, but, box fighting is very important right now in the meta. And the next episode, we will be talking about attacking the box. So, where you're on the outside like this, and different techniques you can do to be protected while you attack the box. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed.